welcome to Tarot with Tanya. This is the reading 7 cards for 7 days, and we are starting on Monday, June 20th, and going to Sunday, the 26th. I see we have a visitor today. That's Gertrude the cat behind me. She's a wonderful kitty, not my kitty, but visiting me for a while. I hope wherever this finds you today, whenever, that you are doing well and that you receive something useful from this information from my guides. So our first card for Monday, June 20th, is the 4 of Cups. We had this one, I believe, for Wednesday last week. And those 4s are, stable numbers. That's the earth number. So it could feel like there are issues and emotional, because it's a cup, that reflect the emotional or the psychic nature, the empathic nature, things like that, that there could be a little bit of a feeling of, what do I choose? Am I stuck a little bit here? We have our crow here. I'm using the crow deck. And a crow is ignoring the 3 cups on the ground, focusing on that more elusive one floating in the air. So maybe you're looking for inspiration, maybe you're looking for a piece that you feel will give you more emotional stability, or the answer. So there could be some waiting, some feeling a bit stuck on Monday. On Tuesday, we have the 7 of Wands. 7s are numbers of change, inner change, like gathering up energy to make a change. And this one is about courage. Perhaps you've been pushed too far, or something new has come up, and it's going to take a little bit of courage to get past this moment. You see the crows going up and down, checking out the situation on the wands that are on the side of the cliff here. And then the other crow, I think that's our main one, our watcher, is gathering. I feel like that energy is going up and down. And, wands are about the instinct, maybe that sense of the hair standing up on the back of the neck, that I know I should do this. I don't know exactly why, but I've got the instinct to do this now. So find that inner courage and take action from there. Again, that's Tuesday. And on Wednesday, we have a major card, the World. So, in the majors, we start at 0, the Fool, generally in tarot decks, and go through the phases, the life phases, and then this is the ending. Obviously not death, because it's all cyclical. It just starts over again, and we may find ourselves, at any given place at any given time. It's also not linear. So Wednesday, our over the hump day, as we sometimes call it, can be a day of, pardon me, the kitty is rubbing her face on my tripod here. She's helping me out today. Anyway, we can be in this place of ending a cycle, starting a new cycle. It will be right after the summer solstice. So that kind of makes sense, right? We've reached that, at least in the Northern Hemisphere of the world. We've reached that place where the light will begin to wane again, even though we're still in these, bright, sunny days, long days. That signals, I think, at least to our body, to our unconscious selves, that, yeah, time for a change. So one cycle ending, another beginning. Then on Thursday, we have the Lovers. I love this particular depiction too. The 2 crows touching heads often occurs to me as a ritual for lovers to touch chakras. There seems like there's a really beautiful exchange of energy that can happen that way. So here they are, sort of bowing their heads together to touch. And so this can indicate partnerships, collaborations with people. It can also be a balancing of your own divine masculine and feminine. It doesn't matter about gender. It's just we each have those feminine and masculine principles. And do they come into some really useful balance by Thursday of this coming week? Look for that. Look for opportunities maybe for people you could work with. Perhaps even seeing something from another point of view that you had not considered before. And when we get to Friday, we have the Ten of Swords. This card, I mean, swords are mental, and this card can frighten people. I had one friend I used to do cards with all the time, and she would either want to take it out of the deck or, try to make sure it ended up on the bottom, anywhere but in her spread. Super sweet. And I used to be nervous about receiving it too, but I'm just not anymore. To me, it means the end of a cycle. And we'd already had Wednesday where we've been in a major cycle with the solstice energy and so forth. And this one, that one my instinct is telling me that one is more energy based and this one is more mental based, more thought based. So are there ideas, ideals you've been holding on to that could perhaps be discarded that day? Let go. It might temporarily feel like a defeat. I mean, this card is usually a depiction of a person on the ground. In this case, it's our dear crow, and it just looks awful. The 10 swords sticking in the back. Yet if you look, I mean, the crow is sort of bearing it. It's kind of like he's taken the swords and said, all right, this path is no longer viable. I need to go in a different direction. And we have to remember that it is mental. It's a thought form. So how can we get those thought forms? Maybe even emptying the mind is the thing to do. Waiting till something new comes. And not feeling bad about it, but just seeing it as part of a cycle. Once the 10 happens, then we go back to the beginning, start over. And then for Saturday, we have the 8 of Cups. And our crow is static here. Often you get the sense of more motion in the 8 of Cups in other decks where there'll be a figure walking away, backs to the cups. And of course, we do have the crow's back to our 8 cups. But also the stillness here seems like contemplation to me. There are different ways to read this card, of course, as there are with all cards. And one of the ways that I like the best is the idea of leaving the mundane behind, finding a higher spiritual path, a better way for the self to walk. So it could be leaving a situation behind. It seems like that's a big theme this week, a lot of endings and new beginnings. It could also be a little bit of depression. And I have read before in terms of Greek culture, ancient Greek culture, that depression was seen as an opportunity to go into one's depths and bring something back. When the live person somehow got permission to go into Hades, the spirit world, and so forth, it was usually seeking some kind of a help, maybe a boon of some kind. So see it, if you can, that way. I think that's one of the incredibly helpful ways to contemplate this card. To say, all right, these things are here. I've had this emotional experience. I'm ready for more. 8, so obviously right after the 7. So that 7 is that inner preparation, the gathering of the courage or the information or whatever it might be, and then doing something. So I feel like this card is that emotional doing something, which again might just be emptying out some old stuff, making new choices. And for Sunday, our last day of the 7 here, we have the Knight of Pentacles, our Knight of Discs, Earth. So some people call this a slow-moving knight. He can be associated with a sense of humor, with getting things done in a persistent way. keeping with something until it is done. Some people can get frustrated with it because it can seem a bit slow. I love the card. Slow and steady often is the way that works best for me. I mean, obviously, you have to figure out what's best for you, but it is a day next Sunday where that might be the case. Take it easy. Go on a picnic. Do something earthy for yourself, for the world. Enjoy your place in it. Maybe you work on a project. Maybe you garden a little bit, wherever in the world that can work for you. Maybe you put something together that you've been wanting to do. Maybe it's as simple as a new shoe rack. Maybe it's a compost pit. Maybe it's something more complicated. But whatever it is, grab on that nice, calm, stable energy to help you forward with it. So looking at our week as a whole, we have both Monday and Saturday, which might be more emotional days. Those are the days that have the cups. We have that fired up nature coming tomorrow, Tuesday, where courage is called for. Wednesday, some kind of a culmination of a major cycle because it's the world. And then on Thursday, that chance for potential collaboration of a reunion within of the divine masculine and the divine feminine, or maybe somehow you see an outer manifestation. Maybe you have a great romantic interlude with a beloved. And Thursday, letting something go, recognizing that its time has ended. It's a natural death for it. Let it go, and that creates the space for something even better to come in. And then Saturday, some emotional walking forward, letting some things be behind, maybe digging up from the shadow and finding a gift within your shadow self. Again, could be like looking at some sort of depressive tendencies and then seeing what are good qualities, good aspects of that for you and your experience, and then ending on Sunday with that earthy night who helps ground us. So wherever you are, I hope this helps you a lot. And please consider liking, sharing, subscribing. And if you are interested in a personal reading, my information will be at the end of the video and in the description box. And you can find me at www.tarotwithtanya.net. Thank you. Bye.